Bill Clinton, sounding like a cancer patient, did a rare interview with MSNBC to give his 2 cents on why the Democrats lost on November 5th, giving a total victory to Donald Trump.
I think that we're behind in the sense that a lot of the small town and rural people are now highly sophisticated in how they get their information. And there are zillions of new websites now, all trying to advance their sort of conservative to right-wing radical cause.
Nobody's really using websites anymore, sir. Everybody's a YouTuber now. They're watching YouTube and listening to podcasts. But we get your point. Please continue.
And a lot of times we're not playing on the same field, and we're not even being heard.
That's because people got sick of the lies in the mainstream media. And so, organically, through the power of social media, they found YouTubers like me. But then in 2016, after Donald Trump won, of course, the empire struck back. The algorithms changed. Big tech started teaming up with legacy media. And then they essentially merged. But we continued on. In fact, we moved the Overton window so far culturally that the big tech platforms, surprisingly, and to their credit, eased up on the restrictions and the banned topics and the censorship as the 2024 presidential election approached.
So I just said, send me out there and I'll see if I can't do some good. I have no idea if I did, but I tried.
You certainly did, sir. For us, remember this soundbite that you made, which then ultimately ended up in a Trump campaign ad?
You had a case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
But speaking of ads, here's a quick plug for the newly redesigned markdice.com. But stay tuned because there's plenty more to come in this video. Just a quick heads up. Today, Saturday, November 23rd, is the last day to order the Trump Claus custom knit sweaters and get them in time for Christmas. These are not like a screen printing or direct to garment. These have the design woven into the sweater itself. These photos don't do them any justice. They're absolutely fantastic. But again, today, the final day to order them, to be sure to get them in time for Christmas in red, green, or black. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out. Twitter is still the talk of the town in the liberal media because these morons don't understand that us normal people actually communicate face-to-face at the shop, at the office, at the bar, at the bowling alley. And so they're still blaming Twitter for, in part, aside from racism and sexism, for Kamala losing. And many of them are so upset about it, they're leaving Twitter and they're going over to Blue Sky because they already forgot about Threads, Mark Zuckerberg's Twitter knockoff that he launched just last year. But Blue Sky is the hottest new thing today, just another Twitter clone.
Elon Musk bought X and turned it into the social media arm of the MAGA movement. And we all sat there right in the middle of it during the campaign, possibly not realizing that we're sitting there like fat chickens just getting attacked all day.
Because tens of thousands of people weren't getting suspended anymore on a regular basis just for posting jokes or uncomfortable facts that hurt liberals' feelings.
And just being part of this MAGA messaging. However, the election's over. Everybody's getting smarter and better. I'm not sure that the right...
No, you are continuing to get unhinged. Do I have to do any more TikTok meltdown videos?
I'm not sure that the right idea is to leave Twitter and just go to Blue Sky, a friendlier place, because then we remain in our echo chambers. I don't think that you should necessarily stay in Twitter every day and battle it out and let yourself doom scroll of all the hate coming at you.
There's a simple solution. You just simply don't read the comments. Okay. Now, I love reading the comments here on YouTube because we built a tremendous community here. Twitter is a whole other animal because one simple retweet by somebody on the other side of the spectrum, and then all of a sudden your post goes in front of their audience's eyes, and then they're then directed into the replies. So the interface itself is completely different than on YouTube.
But I want to see it. I want to read what's happening there, right? And so I think...
Okay, that's why you click the following tab. And then you only get the posts from people who you're following and the things that they retweet, you moron!
At least staying in those spaces is important because I want to hear the other things.
Eddie,
It looks like Democrat election guru Alan Lichtman took her advice because, in case you missed it, he did quit Twitter. He quit X. 24 hours ago, he posted, "I'm done with X. I will be deactivating my account soon. The good news is I'll be over on Blue Sky. You can follow me there." And he did deactivate his account for about a day, but he's back. As the regular viewers know, I haven't used Twitter or posted on it. I use it, I scroll and news gather there, but I haven't tweeted, I haven't posted over there for this entire year because it just ends up sucking away too much of my time. All social media personalities, virtually all of them, are addicted to Twitter, and it's really one of their favorite hobbies, but I have better things to do. But it has been hilarious to see so many mainstream talk show hosts quit Twitter, and people like Mark Cuban complaining about just how terrible their replies are now that you can actually make jokes and insult people without getting suspended.
X is just such a cesspool now, right?
Show.
It's a shithole, right? You can't win no matter what.
You can't win when people aren't getting suspended. You can't win when the left isn't censoring the other side anymore. Aw.
Everything, like, less and less and less time. Elon fucked that shit up, right?
Badly.
He fucked that shit up. But
even Logan Paul, who interviewed Trump and was friendly with him and may have actually voted for him, is sitting there nodding like, oh yeah, they allow too much free speech over there. But, and I'm sorry to have to keep mentioning this, but obviously nobody at the Daily Wire or The Blaze or Fox News or Newsmax or any of the wannabe brand name social media personalities are ever going to mention the fact that Jared Taylor's Twitter account still hasn't been restored. Not to mention his book, White Identity, Racial Consciousness in the 21st Century, which came out many years ago, was banned about 5 years ago from Amazon.com. But of course, it's crickets amongst conservative ink when Amazon bans books, other than the book about the transgenderism. That one they got all upset about, but don't want to mention any other books that get banned. Like retired evolutionary psychology professor from California State University, Long Beach, Kevin McDonald, who also hasn't been restored on Twitter, and his book, The Culture of Critique, an evolutionary analysis of Jewish involvement in 20th century intellectual and political movements, also was quietly banned from Amazon about 5 years ago. Of course, if you would have read my book, The War on Conservatives, or saw any of the videos I've done over the past several years about Amazon quietly banning books, then you would have known this. And you got to ask yourself, why is it that it just takes a guy with a laptop and a YouTube channel to bring you this information instead of the cutting-edge culture war leaders, those on the front lines fighting censorship at the brand name conservative outlets who literally never mention these things? Would you like to say something, Satan?
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
Well, they did succeed shortly after the 2016 election when the algorithms changed, when they launched the war on fake news, which was really just a war on independent news, a war on organic algorithms that then they all changed in order to boost authoritative mainstream sources and start dumping original organic content down the memory hole. But so far, their cries to censor social media after this total victory for President Trump are falling on deaf ears. Do you have a new conspiracy theory, Mr. Cuban, you'd like to share with us about why there's so much conservative content on Twitter, aside from the fact that Elon restored tens of thousands of accounts years ago when he bought it, including major mainstream personalities like James O'Keefe, Laura Loomer, Carpe Donktum, Alex Jones, and others?
I'm going to tell you something else, and I can't prove this, but I think that he's doing. I think he's taking old abandoned accounts that, accounts someone opened in 2015 and hasn't used since 2015 and turn them into bots to amplify the number of users on the system.
He said he was fighting against.
Right.
Basically.
Well, yeah, but he controls them, right? So
they're his bots.
They're his bots.
Elon has an army of bots.
I'm guessing, right? I don't know.
Of course you don't know. You're clearly a moron. And this is probably just Elon trolling. I highly doubt that he's going to actually do this, but I certainly hope that he does. He responded to a post, I think it might have been from Don Jr., who said something about Elon should buy MSNBC since it's being spun off from Comcast, and they're probably going to actually lose the MSNBC name because the parent company wants to separate them from the NBC News brand because they're trying to prevent it from being further tarnished from the kooks over at MSNBC. So somebody said, Elon should buy it, and then he replied, How much is it? And that's the same thing that he did when somebody said, you should buy Twitter. So now the left-wing lunatics are getting even more unhinged out of fear that Elon Musk may buy a cable channel. I certainly hope that he does. And I certainly hope that you order your custom special order Trump Claus knit sweater from my online store at markdice.com today, Saturday, November 22nd, because it's the last day to get your orders in, and be sure to get them in time for Christmas. Like I said, they're available in red, green, and black. These have the design woven directly into the sweater itself, so it's not like the screen printing or the direct-to-garment printing, which are still also available, Trump Claus in the sweatshirt and the t-shirt. But these are extra special, and the pictures don't do them any justice. They're absolutely fantastic. But, again, they're custom order, specially made, so you got to get those orders in today. So head on over to markdice.com or click the link in the description below and check them out.